Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. I got a request from somebody, I don't know, I forgot what his name is, but I got a request from someone to react to this person named Serenity. And so I looked him up and I saw, oh, he's an ending hater. And I've been wanting to watch his videos ever since he said for me to request it, but I didn't want to watch them. Specifically for you ending defenders. For you ending defenders, you don't really need to be that familiar with the other person's argument in order to dismantle it. Because I know what's going to come out of this person's mouth is going to be so false and so wrong and so nonsensical and so shallow that I don't even need to review the video before I can debunk it. I can debunk this on the fly, on the go, in real time. Okay? So, I hope this gives hope for you ending defenders. You can do it. You can take on these arguments. There's a few things that are tricky. There's a few things that the ending haters are right about. But particularly this topic, this video I'm going to show you, these people are completely wrong. Now, another thing before we get into it, I'm not going to do the extended cut. There's an extended version of this. It's an hour long. I'm not going to do that because, I mean, it's an hour long. And I had no problem shooting for hours. Problem that it's going to be like a 3-hour review. Because, you know how I get down. So, unfortunately, I'll not be able to do the extended version. I hope I'm not misrepresenting anybody. So if you guys say, hey, he addresses an extended cut, here's a timestamp, I will certainly address it because I don't want to misrepresent anybody. This is supposed to be a professional thing, or we're, debating about literature. So hopefully I'm not, doing anything crazy. Hopefully the 20-30 minute version is good enough. But if the extended version has something that I didn't know about, please let me know. Alright, so with that being said, let's just get right into this.
So do you know that end scene, like the last panel, where the Eren bird came and the series ended? Actually, fuck you. Because really, she wore that scarf in the next panels. She brings her So do you know that end scene, like the last panel, where the Eren bird came and the series ended? Actually, fuck you. Because really, she wore that scarf in the next panels. She brings her husband, who is probably Jean, with a kid, to visit Eren's grave. Imagine being Jean here. You have a wife, you are settled down, and she says, let me bring you. So do you know that end scene, like the last panel, where the Eren bird came and the series ended? Actually, fuck you. Because really, she wore that scarf in the next panels. She brings her husband, who is probably Jean, with a kid, to visit Eren's grave. Imagine being Jean here. You have a wife, you are settled down, and she says, let me bring you to...
Pause right there. Okay, so I know this is a joke. I actually did see this video, but I know this is a joke. However, I do want to bring up something. The reason why I said over and over again, you can go back to my old videos, I know they're crap, but if you go back to my old videos, you can watch them, you can say, hey, Beluga was saying this for a while. I've been saying, and it makes so much sense for Jean to marry Mikasa because he knows exactly what Mikasa is going through, because he also loved Eren as well. So, I think that he'd be the chillest dude ever who would be able to still let Mikasa express her feelings for Eren while still knowing she's devoted to him. That same goes for Armin too, because it could also be Armin. Same goes, maybe she'd be more for Armin, because Armin's more of a reasonable person than anyone else. So in that case, that's why I keep saying the last page makes so much sense, because if you did indeed marry Jean, it would be the perfect husband for her, because any other person would get insecure, and understandably so, about the relationship between Mikasa and Eren posthumously. Jean, however, would be much less susceptible to that than anyone else. Let's continue.
to my dead lover's grave. The one who massacred 80% of the population. Yeah, that one. And so she's still wearing his scarf. Imagine this. John's having sex with Mikasa, right? And she says,
Apologize for that.
Yeah. Let me call you Eren. Oh, yeah.
Apologize for
I'll wrap
that.
that
Sorry.
scarf around you as many times as you want when you go down on me. That's what sex with her is going to be like when you're Jean. There is a scene. She is like 80 years old. She is still wearing the scarf. That same scarf. She is like 80. She is literally in her goddamn...
Is that a wedding ring? And I can zoom in. That might be a flower, though. Huh? Okay. Someone let me know if you think it's a flower or a wedding ring. We'll see in the anime. But in all seriousness, okay, she has a scarf. Who cares? The genuine question: who cares? Because here's the thing: you don't know Mikasa and this other person's relationship, her husband. You don't know what the relationship is. How would you know whether it's negatively affecting it or not? You could say, well, it could. Well, yeah, it could. But you can, after you have drinks, you can still drive legally. Most states have a 0.08% legal limit. So if you have, a glass of wine over an hour with a meal, you're still safe to drive. Somebody can't say, you can't drive if you have wine. Well, it's probably leading to something else, but it could still be just fine. So this scarf thing, this means nothing. Like I always say, well, when my dad goes and visits his mom's grave, should my mom be like my other mom? Because I'm saying like my dad's mom died. He goes sees her grave. So should my mom be like, oh, you can't do that. That's bad. Oh, you're being clingy. No, you're allowed to remember dead people. You're allowed to do that. And the other thing is that, again, she was married into her old age. So, in fact, I don't even know what the problem is, because it looks like the marriage worked out. It looks like the marriage worked out. Now, of course, you could say, well, some people, they're in a marriage and they're just going through the motions. I understand that. That is definitely a possibility. But it's also a possibility that she just got married and had a good life. That's also a possibility. Her having a little keepsake for someone that she loved for years, that shouldn't be a problem. Okay, and man, let's continue.
Damn grave in a wheelchair, wearing that scarf. She has 3 generations of family there.
Exactly what I'm saying. Like not only is her husband with her to her old age, her kids are, and that is a big sign. As I've said for months, that her kids still being around her is a big sign. As I said, it means that she's a good mother. So, again, and then she has grandkids. So then her kids trusted their mom enough to be around their kids, which again, it's a common thing, I know, but still, if this is a bad marriage, they wouldn't have done that. But mom and dad stayed together, their kids had kids, and then their kids are able to see grandma. So, again, the scarf thing, it really doesn't seem to be impacting the relationship. Again, superficially. Now, you could say, well, you can make up all these scenarios and say, well, the kids are actually being forced to go there, and the kids are resentful. I mean, the grandkids are forced to go there, and the kids are resentful, and the husband's a cock, and blah blah blah. You don't know that. It's the same thing with the bombing. You don't know who's bombing who. It could be John could be a cuck, or John could be not a cuck, and it looks to me that they had a happy marriage. So. The scarf thing literally means nothing. That I really, really appreciate it. I'm so glad it's gonna put this in here. So we could say, yeah, people can have keepsakes. People can still remember their past, lover or whatever, their past life, and still be in a devoted relationship. I'm glad I put it in there. That's the sort of complexity that I strive for when I read this kind of stuff. And I'm happy to put it in there. And again, it pisses a lot of people off because most people want her to take off the scarf, light on fire, spit in it, bury it somewhere, and blah blah blah. Because to do that, that's stupid. You cannot get rid of all that. She had a relationship with him for over a decade, and it ended extremely tragically. So how is she just supposed to say, okay, forget about Eren now? Well, don't like him anymore. Ridiculous. Let's continue.
Okay, and she's still wearing that fucking scarf. It gets worse.
Sorry for the language.
If you didn't think it get worse, it does. The worst part is, let's take a look at the goals established throughout the entirety of the story. Eren's main goal is to eradicate all the Titans, which in 139 he did, right? In some magical fucking Halu-chan shit, suddenly the Titan power's gone. That was fine. That's fine. That's cool, right? I'm happy with that. Good for him. The second goal was to protect Paradis from all the rest of the world, and that's what 80% of the population was massacred for. However, according to these leaks and what has been shown, what actually happens is that Paradis is destroyed, which, well, sucks for Eren, because that's one of his goals that didn't happen, that we thought would happen.
I like how we conveniently left it out. Hold on a second. Let me get what he actually said. Now, the reason on the screen for you is because this is, these are, leaks and they're also being translated, right? So I'm going to show you the physical book to show you this is the physical copy. This is the official translation. This is what it actually says, not whatever crap he blew up online. This is what he actually said. Orman says, what does Eren says? He said, so Arn said, so he wanted us to be like the Tyrant family after the Great Titan War. We're supposed to protect Parody from reprisal from the outside walls. Eren says they won't be able to retaliate immediately. They'll only kill 80% of humanity. They'll lose their capacity to wage war. That's what he said. Stop being sneaky and dishonest. Eren, what he was actually doing was buying them time. And his main goal, which of course I'm sure he's not going to bring up here, and I'm sure he's not going to bring up the point where he said that his friends are the most important people to him. I'm sure he's not going to bring that up, where his actual main goal is to make sure everyone lives long, happy lives, which pretty sure they did. So, very sneaky, but nice try. I know a little bit. So let's continue.
Biggest one is that the grave where Eren is at, it turns into another Ymir tree, and then Boruto, Next Generations, comes and sees the tree, which means the power of the Titans is back, okay?
Again, another
Titans
thing
are
that
back.
is just
So not only did Eren not get the push,
made up. You don't know that. It's implied. Again, you don't know that. All these absolutes people are saying. People are saying, "Oh, well, we know that Marley came back and took revenge. We know that John's a cuck. We know that the Titan's gonna come back." How would you know any of that? Where are you getting this from? Now, I do think the Titan powers is still around, simply because the hallucinogenic was a source of all organic life and existed before Ymir, so Ymir doesn't have control over it. So the source of all organic life is always going to be around. So that's why I think that I bring actual proof for that. This guy just, and again, this is comedy, so I'll let it slide. But still, people, I hope you guys understand. You cannot just make claims just because they're possible. Because this definitely happened because it's possible. Sorry. Let's continue.
he did protect the island, but most of all, Titans are back, and we set up Boruto the Next Generation for Attack on Titan. To top this all off, at the end of all these pages, there is a scene, an alternative universe scene, where Mikasa, Armin, and Eren are at the theater. They finish watching their movie, and they talk about how amazing the ending of it was, and a meta commentary on how the ending of Attack on Titan was fantastic. And at one point they literally say, don't pay attention to the discussion boards, because they're just the voices in the dark or some shit like that. And it's literally saying, these people overanalyzed my story and are idiots. Don't pay attention to them, because my amazing writing here, where everything I write is basically retconned, is the best. And any discussion interpretation, yeah, don't listen to them. Amazing writing. Really, when you think about it, Attack on Titan's revised ending is just a meta commentary on Isayama and the story itself, right? After the last chapter.
That's the thing. It's not revised. There's no extra pages. As I've said so many times, and I'm gonna say it until people really get it. Betsu Show and Jump did not allow him the pages he needed. Now, one could say he could have been another chapter. I agree, he could have been another chapter, but we all know how this guy feels about numerology, and so I think he pigeonholed himself by wanting to end it on 139. So, Betsu Show and Jump did not give him the pages he needed, And so he had to add more in to the manga release, and hopefully he'll add much more in the anime. Now, this is not extra, and we know this is not extra because again, the end of the story contradicts itself. The Best Visual Dub version is ridiculous because Mikasa is not free. Mikasa's still sad about Eren and blah blah blah. Now, one could say, well, she did get over him at the very, very end. Maybe, but still, you can see, okay, she got married, now she's free, right? Whereas she wasn't really in the manga. That's just one of many other examples, right? For why we know, hey, this was planned. And again, the headaches explanation. We never got explanation for the headaches, right? But hey, the extra pages came along, as if because she's been having headaches since chapter 1. So obviously we knew that Isayama had a plan for them since the beginning. So obviously he didn't go through since chapter 1 and write headaches, and then the chapter came out and he's like, oh crap! Well, why should she have headaches? Let's just insert an answer. No, he had it the entire time, just that he didn't have enough pages to fit it in. So when the extra pages got released, that's when he put it in. So it's not revised. It's not extra. This is the same end we had from the Best Shonen Jump version. This is exactly why I waited until October to buy this. This is exactly why. I knew it's incomplete. Who would go to a movie theater and they say, okay, well, 40, this movie's gonna play and it's gonna stop 15 minutes short. Come back in 2 months and then the rest of the 15 minutes will play. Well, I'm coming back in 2 months. Why would I watch a half-finished movie, right? And that's what these people did. They watched a half-finished movie, then they based all their opinions off of that, and then when months later, October came around, then they decide, oh, well, look, this is revised. No, it's not revised. And again, I don't blame them because the timing was kind of off, right? I was waiting for the English version. They wanted to read the Japanese leak, so when it dropped in Japan in April, that's when they read it instead of waiting. So that's the story there. All right, let's continue.
Chapter, half people were like, oh, this ending's amazing. The other half were like, oh, this is dog shit. And so there's this division. It's kind of like the Marleyans and the Eldians, right? But here's the thing. Eren attacking Marley represented 139, where the fan base is divided. But then the rumbling is the revised pages here. Think about it. With the revised ending, Isayama has become Eren, and the fan base has become the Alliance. The unification of the fanbase and believing that the ending is dog shit. Fan bases need a devil to rise up.
Well, no, again, I've heard this a bunch of times. Again, no, this is comedy. I wish we could just get into the actual video, but no. No, because again, there's lots of people who still walk around saying, oh yeah, the ending was good. Like, lots of people, like, again, I don't know when this video got released, but I can tell you, in November of 2022, no, there's no united front on this. In fact, the mainstream opinion is still the ending was good.
Above their humanity and truly unify them in realizing when a story is shit. This ending has looped around so hard. 139 was bad, but with these revised pages, it is looped so hard around that it somehow has become a masterpiece. Attack on Titan has become peak fiction, simply by virtue of how dog shit this ending is, and I'm all for it. Isayama has become our devil.
Zekken has come out with some leaks, and the leaks are hilarious. For me, who somebody hated the ending, dude, I cannot stop laughing. If you loved the ending, if you thought okay with it, it's gonna be worse for you. So some of the leaks include Mikasa visits Eren's grave with her husband and child, and the husband kind of looks like Jean from the back. So if you were a Mikasa Eren shipper, if you believed in eternal true love,
actually wasn't.
Looks like Mikasa Jean is a thing. But that's not even the best part. That's not even the best part. I personally think Eren was retconned by the end. Everything just did not make sense. His entire character was the 180. Basically, you have to go against his inner monologue for 139 Eren to make sense. But people who love the ending are just like, no, this was who he was all the time. He left the world for Armin to save paradise and bring peace. Well, let me tell you, Paradise Island was destroyed because of the war, but the power of Titans did not disappear. So everybody who hated the ending, who said Eren went against this character, that he did not secure Paradise's future, that he did not save his people, yada yada yada, well, we were right. Apparently, it is canon that Paradise Island...
Oh god, this again.
This again. Oh god. Oh god. You know, I'm gonna wait till
Is
Serenity
destroyed.
shows up.
The power of giants did not disappear. Dude, so what did Eren do? What did the Alliance do? Did it? What?
See, this is why people call you guys fascists, or should I say us fascists? Because fascists think in the terms of the state, right? So you guys are out here saying, "Oh, what did Eren accomplish? What did he do?" When quite clearly we can see, not just right off the bat in 139, Connie's mom is back. Number one, that's huge. Because again, if people who've had their parent or their brother or their close friend die. Think about how amazing it'd be if they were back to life. That is incredible by itself. Then we have, okay, Annie and Reiner don't have to deal with the cursing Ymir anymore. And Armin. Okay, awesome. That was a terrible thing that was gonna happen, and that's happening anymore. And oh, it's this. Now Mikasa dies of old age, and we can imply it that other friends also died of old age. So what do you mean, what did he accomplish? That's like saying, oh, Woodrow Wilson, what did you accomplish? Well, the World War II happened, you accomplished nothing. That's stupid. Like, not only is it stupid in terms of the state, because Woodrow Wilson did accomplish something for the world and for America, Eren accomplished personal goals, and he said over and over again in his inner monologues, you people love to point out that his friends were the most important people to him. So the most important things got taken care of. So no, I'm not gonna call you fascist. I know most Indian haters are not fascist, but this is why people call you fascist, because you guys are absolute statists. Well, what did he accomplish? Apparently, still went to war. And then when I say, well, was he supposed to get rid of war forever? No, we can't get rid of war. It's human nature. Okay, but Parody got destroyed. Okay, cool. No, Eren absolutely did accomplish something. Even if Parody got destroyed 100 years later, or whatever years later, just right after Mikasa died, just by the floor, everyone Parody gets killed, he still accomplished something incredible. And something you're probably never going to accomplish in your life either. Not because you're bad or anything, just because it's impossible to raise people from the dead. Okay, so let's continue.
This Attack on Titan is the gift that keeps on giving. Dude, this is parody. This is Parody Island. This is my comedy. Oh, whatever. Oh my god, dude. If the Titan powers did not get if they didn't disappear, Eren didn't achieve anything. Paradise destroyed. The Titan powers still exist. Mikasa, what's it called? The Alliance failed, obviously. If the Paradise destroyed, it means the peace talks failed. If Titan powers didn't disappear, it means Eren failed.
Again, Armin was dead, so no.
And if Mikasa, has a kid with a Jean, well, dude, if you love the ending, Isayama came up to you and just bent down over you and took a giant shit in your mouth. If you spent the last month defending the ending... Oh my god, this is hilarious. Dude, this is peak comedy. I'm having the time of my life. I didn't even know how it could get worse. I mean, for me, it's just better, because I don't care. It's just funny. But it's like to think it could possibly get worse for the people who actually enjoyed it, who were shipping Eren Mikasa and had that scene with the bird, Eren as a bird, and like, guys, eternal love, blah blah blah. The Alliance, they're gonna achieve peace, and Eren's sacrifice was worth it. It makes all
again. We're gonna achieve peace. I suppose that no one should have been celebrating after World War I. I keep bringing this up. I keep bringing to remind people of what the actual World War was like. I guess no one should have been celebrating because not even, 40, 50 years later, oh, we got another World War. Actually, it wasn't even 40 years later. Yeah, it was about 40, 30 years later. And Eren accomplished more than that. So what are you whining about? Peace talks. I guess the Woodrow Wilson failed. The peace talks failed Germany. No, just another generation happened. Another war happened. That's how things go. Ridiculous. This is the stupidest thing. I guess George Washington fell because America got invaded in 1812. I guess peace talks failed. Oopsie. Come on, guys, please. And more importantly, I guess George Washington failed because not even 100 years later, America invaded herself. People got killed. United States at war. I mean, did you see Atlanta after the Civil War? It looked like parody. It was completely obliterated. I hope you realize that. And how stupid would somebody say, George Washington and all those boys, they failed because we invaded ourselves, we destroyed ourselves. Ridiculous. Anyway, let's continue.
Makes...
I didn't expect to make this video. Didn't think I'd do it. Everything I said about Hajime Izayama, I take it back. He's an absolute mad lad. He's a legend. He just saved the series. I have to do a video on this because he won't let it die either. So if he's not going to let it die, oh, I shouldn't be a name.
I mean, he told you back in April it's going to be 8 more pages. So it's not like he just, oh, I'm going to do this to keep the series alive. No, he planned it out. His stupid publishers, especially someone Jump, will never forgive. They said, oh, you can only have 50 pages. Okay, great. So then he added 58. And hopefully, if A doesn't happen, he cleans up in the anime, and we get the ideal ending. Because obviously, this isn't ideal. Obviously. And obviously, the best two show and Jump version wasn't ideal, which is why he added 8 more pages.
Enabling this behaviour, should I? So, the final chapter of Attack on Titan came out 2 months ago. There's been some backlash, but there were a lot of people, the chapter 139 apologists, who refused to see that it's objectively inconsistent and shoddy writing. They refused to see it. I played nicely in that last video. The apologists refused to see it. Would even say how they enjoyed the chapter and happy ending and whatever. So Izuyama clearly wasn't satisfied with this, so he released an extra 8 pages that's going to come out with the final volume to ruin it for even the apologists. Quite frankly, I'm happy about that. Good. I'm glad your ending got ruined by the 8 extra pages he added. Let's go through. What did he add? Mikasa sees Ymir. At this point, Mikasa was the true main character of Attack on Titan, just so you're all caught up. Your love must have felt like a never-ending nightmare. All the lives that were taken can never be regained, but it's only because you brought your children into this world that I stand here today. So 2,000 years of torment, brutality, millions of people probably cumulatively killing each other. All right, no big deal, I guess, because, well, I'm here. This conversation with Ymir adds nothing, solves nothing.
This is just the unnuanced garbage. Oh, it adds nothing and solves nothing, right? Because we didn't get anything but the headaches. Adds nothing, solves nothing. This is ridiculous. And again, on top of that, these people have no nuance whatsoever. Oh, Mikasa just doesn't care about human life because she just brushes over. No, she's allowed to be grateful. God, come on, guys, please have some nuance. Like when Arwen said, "They never coin math murder for our sake." Like, have some freaking nuance, man.
Nothing means nothing. Entirely redundant. He could have tried to like tie up some plot holes with the 8 extra pages, but no, I'm just gonna add in a bunch of nothing. This Ymir doesn't even speak. Useless. The final pages that he added have no dialogue. That's amazing. No dialogue in an epilogue. It's Mikasa and is this Jean? Good for her. They've got a baby and they're laying flowers at Eren's grave, and Eren's grave tree has turned into a bigger tree. And now Mikasa is an old woman with her family, bringing them for the annual "Can we go see Eren's grave?" Imagine being Jean and you've been. I mean, we're just running on the assumption this could be the farmer.
Again, the other thing that I forgot to mention. What if Jean wanted to see his grave? There is an idea. Like, come on, your friend died. You don't want to see his grave? Like, only the wife wants to see the grave? Like, all these assumptions and all these, it's just utter nonsense. It's utter nonsense. Now, again, it could not be Jean, but I think most people understand. Well, it's probably most likely John, if not John Armin. And those two people would definitely like to see Eren's grave. And again, even if it was a complete stranger, I think it's understandable that she would want to see her dead friend's grave. It's not too much to ask. Let's do.
Historia. Who knows? Imagine being Jean and being ignored by this girl for years, and then she finally decides to settle for you because her one true love dies after killing 80% of humanity, and every year she drags you to go visit his grave. What a simp. There is Mikasa in her deathbed, still wearing that scarf. How it's held up after all these years. Maybe the scarf was the true main character of Attack on Titan. And then, in the next panel, we see some fighter bomber jets just blowing up Paradise, and there's the destruction, but the tree is still standing. So we've had 139 chapters, largely revolving around how Eren can try to save his friends on this island that he's grown up, his home, and it was all for nothing because it gets blown up anyway. Oh, well, at least, you know,
Dude, again, let's listen to this again. See if you can spot the cognitive, well, I mean, cognitive is the word, but see if you can spot the lunacy.
Okay. Largely revolving around how Eren can try to save his friends on this island that he's grown up, his home, and it was all for nothing because it gets.
Okay, so she just mentioned how she died peacefully, and how it was mainly revolving around Eren and his friends, but then he did nothing because his friends died peaceful and rich. I'm implying the rich there, but at least peacefully. This is just ridiculous. This is the statism that I'm talking about.
Gets blown up anyway. Oh, well, at least, Mikasa clearly got to live out a long life, so probably did. Well, there's nothing about Armin in these final chapters, so whatever. And I don't care about him anyway, because he sucks. Good job, Armin, sorting out, like, peace between... See? The apologists that said, oh, Eren's destroyed 80% of the world, so, like, they're not going to be able to bomb Paradise or retaliate. Ta-da! So...
Again, this is another something. We know for sure there's an outside force, because it couldn't possibly be a civil war, because no country... I don't know about the United Kingdom, but I know as an American, our country, as I said, didn't last 100 years before going to a civil war, which was devastating. So... And I'm sure, many other countries have had. Well, I know for a fact that many other countries have had civil wars or this day. In fact, if you're watching this video right now, you almost certainly had civil wars or this day in your country. So again, these people are saying, "Oh, we know for sure that it was the outside world. We know that for sure." And again, no one said that it would stop them forever. Eren said we'll be able to retaliate immediately and buy them time. That's what we all thought it was. That's good.
Destruction leveled completely, and then here's this child with their dog finding the tree. Attack on Titan, the end. So this tree, Ymir enters this tree through this entrance in the tree, falls down, and that's when the parasite, the Halu-chan, attaches itself to Ymir, starting off the 2,000-year curse, yada yada yada. Eren's head was buried here. Now there's a tree identical to the tree that Ymir fell into. There are some people saying, oh, it's just symbolism. It's not just, yes, it's symbolism, but also...
yes. Oh, because you know. What's this lady's name? Alice? Oh, because you know Alice. There's more to it than that. It couldn't possibly just be symbolism, right? I know exactly what Isayama's doing here, man.
It's left open-ended. Isayama could very much, in a few years' time, create Shingeki no Kyojin Next Generation.
Again, I don't know if people are saying it. It's like these people don't read the interviews, because he said multiple times, he's like, I can do another series, I can do another series, I can do another series. And again, he went to New York just recently, so I can't fault him for this, but he went to New York and he said, I'm not going to do anything else. This is going to be my last manga, I'm not doing anything else. So again, no, it's not for a part 2. It's supposed to be open-ended. Like, I don't know, maybe people aren't sophisticated enough to know that some stories are open-ended for thematic reasons, but maybe she thinks that it's supposed to be like, again, she's been modernized because this is why another reason why I like Attack on Titan is because it's not modernized. People think, oh, it's open ended, that means they're leaving it open for a sequel. No, no. Sometimes it's just like sometimes the writer actually knows what he's doing, and sometimes he's not trying to commercialize things. Even though he's gotten very rich and he's been very successful, he clearly did not try to commercialize that, and season 2 proved it. So no, he's not doing another sequel, and it's been said over and over again, and it's said just recently. So no, he's not leaving it open for a sequel.
Directly opens up for a sequel. A young child finding the tree. Oh, it's symbolic for like how the cycle of hate and violence just never ends. What was the point of Attack on Titan? What was the overarching point? Just violence never ends. Did we need 139 chapters of essentially nothing now, seeing as nothing got resolved? From this, I am going to assume that the Titan curse didn't go away. It's still there. It's not just always...
That's a valid assumption. And again, most of you said I'm going to assume, which is good because you don't know. You can assume. Now, I assume that as well. And I have, my reasons why I said it previously. But yes, it's good. You can assume that. That's perfectly fine. That's perfectly valid. That's okay.
Just symbolic because it's symbolic. No, that is the same tree that Ymir fell into. So the curse is still clearly there. And people are still blowing each other up. What was the point?
Ladies and gentlemen, the additional pages have officially come out, and wow, we were right all along, everybody. This ending is garbage, confirmed by Isayama himself, and man, this is wow. I mean, of course we were right. We knew we were right. Everyone, protect yourselves, protect your kids, protect your wives, protect your parents, protect your families, because the EM shippers, EM worshippers, they're gonna go on an absolute riot. They've been defending this trash ending 139 with their absolute lives, only for their god Isayama to come out and say, nope, nah, yeah, this ending was trash. You guys are just dumb. You guys are sheep. It's glorious. They were the real deal. No alternate universe, no Eren, Armin, Path's dream. These are absolute 100% real. We're just gonna go through them together. I already read it, but
I want to deal with you guys, the people. We had to endure the absolute toxicity from the EM worshippers because the discourse around 139 was so bad. They didn't even care about the story. They only cared about Eren and Mikasa being canon, as evidenced by the reactions from when the leaks came out. Oh, this ending is trash. Eren and Mikasa is not canon anymore. How can Mikasa move on? She's a hoe. John, Eren died for nothing. Oh my god. They're so mad right now. They're so mad right now. All the creators who were defending 139, I can't wait to see their reaction to this. So, long intro. We start off with Armin Alarm giving his Talk no Jutsu response. I mean, is it really a Talk no Jutsu anymore? Because 139 defenders were saying, oh, of course the parody is not going to get bombed or destroyed. Armin is going to talk his way out of it. He's going to Talk no Jutsu his way out of it.
Again, I wasn't part of this discourse because I, like a prudent person, waited. Because I listened to what Isayama was saying and I waited. And as you can see here, he's reading leaks. Why are you reading leaks? None of that is canon. That's why you have the official translation. Let's continue.
Armin did not talk his way out of it. He did not talk his way out of it. So this is when the additional pages come in. We have Mikasa and
No, I thought it provided nothing. This is what I'm saying. Like it showed the headache. It's like, oh, I thought it provided nothing. At least what happened to that? Yeah,
they're interacting. Just look at this dialogue right here by Mikasa. So it was you, the one viewing the world through my eyes all this time. Now again, this is a rough translation. This isn't like the official thing.
Oh, it's a rough translation. So why are you reading it? No, serious question. If it's a rough translation, why are you reading it? But I seriously want whoever was in this period of time between April and October, I would really like to know, what were you guys doing? Why were you reading unofficial translations and critiquing it? That's ridiculous. It's absurd. Come on, that's absurd to me.
Mikasa says that
you would actually make an academic video based upon, or maybe academic's too pompous. Maybe you would review literature based upon shoddy translations. Who would do something like that?
It was you like messing with my head, basically indicating that Mikasa's headaches were coming from Emir. Who knows? You know what? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where the dialogue is going on here because it's dumb. It's dumb. So it was you, the one viewing the world through my eyes all this time. I think your love was that of a long nightmare. The past lives will never return. But thanks to the lives you gave birth to, here I now stand. This is some of the greatest dialogue ever in fiction. We see Emir daydreaming of a reality where she never, got in front of the spear that was headed towards King Fritz, and instead she let him.
I love all the blinks you're just filling in there. How do you know it's Ymir dreaming? How come? What if it's Mikasa imagining an alternate reality? What? These people they just love to just add. And again, there is always a way to interpret art through its subtleties. I agree, but I just want to point it out every single time it happens, so that people just get, because whenever I get into debates, people always say, "Oh, well, it has to be explicit for it to be canon." Untrue, and you do it all the time. They always said, "Oh, Ymir dreamed this up." It never said that.
And die, and she's hugging her daughters, crying. I mean, whatever. Here are these little biscuits from Isayama himself where I dream about never jumping in front of the spear. So, I mean, this does nothing. Again, it's whatever's. It does nothing. It's not like it brought her character back from absolute trashness. Mikasa says, "Rest in peace, Emir." And then Emir vanishes from her 2,000 years on Earth. Yeah, and then we see Mikasa walking to parody. Again, this is the funniest thing ever. Like I said in my past videos, we were made to believe that Mikasa just took Eren's head from that island all the way back to parody, meaning she had to cross an entire ocean with a decapitated head.
Well, first off, it's straight. Number one. Number two, are you being for real? This entire story is about espionage. You're like, oh, how could she have done that with a head? Come on, seriously, guys, come on. What's it? Suspension of belief. I think I would cover this for a quick second. Come on, is that really your criticism? Oh, how did she get back home? We just saw 139 pages of pure espionage.
How? I don't know, but okay, whatever. So then with the additional pages, we have Mikasa, her husband, and her child at Eren's grave. Now, whether it's John himself, I don't even know. It doesn't even matter anymore. Bro, it could be Connie. It could be Connie. Or it could be the farmer. It looks like John. It's John's hair. It's John. It's John. It's not confirmed, but whatever. So she moves on. Oh my god, the Eren Mikasa worshippers are gonna riot over this. All of them with the wheelchair right here and the tree. And the Eren Mikasa worshippers were just going crazy. They were having a complete nuclear meltdown. They were at DEFCON 5 over when it was still leaked. But now that this is official, wow. So yeah, we see parody has modernized. So yeah, Mikasa's old. She has a crane. And then this panel is Mikasa dying, wearing that raggedy ass scarf that hasn't been washed since she was 8 years old. But okay. And ladies and gentlemen, this is the moment that I have been waiting for. Ever since 139 came out, each video I said, parody is going to be destroyed. Eren died for nothing. Armin isn't going to talk his way out of it. The outside world still hates parody. They hate them even more now that they got 80% of them massacred. But again, I still couldn't comprehend the fact that people actually thought Armin and parody were safe. They really thought Armin was going to talk his way out of it. So now we got probably the greatest panel in Attack on Titan.
I agree, and I unironically agree. This was a great panel, and I'm so happy to see y'all had the guts to put this in there. I'm so happy. I'm extremely happy, and I really hope that this makes it to if this does get adapted to TV. I really hope that this gets put in the TV version. If they don't do AOE, because this is incredible. And I shot a video about this, about why I think, this is good and why you're missing the point, blah blah blah. But yeah, this is a great panel because this is countering that statism ideology I was talking about. Your happiness or your contentment should not be based upon good circumstances, especially ones that are unavoidable. War is unavoidable. So obviously parody was going to go to war. I could be on the I could be an old veteran at the end of the Revolutionary War in my bed, and the country's there. We're young country's there. Britain is off our back. We're a new country now. Everyone's happy. We have our struggles and whatnot. But I can die peacefully, knowing right now things are good, but there will be a war, and there will be another war, and there will be another war. I can know that just based off of history. And any veteran who died in the Revolutionary War, in between the Revolutionary War and the War of 1812 and the Civil War, they would not have been surprised if they would have been automatic, randomly, zipped into Earth, and then in the middle of Civil War, they wouldn't be surprised. I mean, they might be sad that the country's at war, but they'd be like, oh well, I mean, this is to be expected. We didn't fight for independence so that we would never have to go to war again, and that's ridiculous. In the same way, I'm so happy for this in here. Because again, as I said in my other video, Wonder Woman didn't do this. At the end of Wonder Woman, the first one, everyone was all happy. They were in the streets. They were dancing. It was a good time. Which is strange because we, as an audience, know this war is nothing. So minuscule compared to what's coming next. No one even talks about the casualties of the first war. Everyone talks about the second war because it's just so insignificant in the common man's eyes. So. It's the same thing here. Why would you make an ending where everyone's all happy and peaceful? And that's the message. You can only be happy when things are happy and peaceful, which is completely countering the entire message of Attack on Titan. And I'm not going to get into it because this video is already going on longer than I want it to. But you can go watch my video to do what I'm talking about. But this is a really, 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 really great panel that you do not get in modern media. You don't get this in modern media. You do not get this in modern media. You either get the extreme fairy tale, or you get the extreme edgy edgelord where Eren just destroys everyone and everyone's okay, right? It's one or the other. This is perfect. This is absolutely perfect, right? Eren got his friends safe. Eren learned contentment. We learned contentment. Hopefully, he did. And war still happens, but that's okay because of what we learned prior. Okay. Now I know you're probably confused. Again, you can watch other videos. Hit me up in the Discord if you want for the explanation.
Parody gets carpet bombed. In this panel where they get carpet bombed, they're like in the 2000s. They got high-rise buildings, they got anti-aircraft artillery, and we see the outside world just going through parody and just carpet bombing.
Again, you're assuming it's the outside world. How do you know it's the outside world? And again, as I said so many times, parody was in prime position to be the world innovator. And again, parody had his real flight mechanics on the island after the war. Yikes. So if anyone's developing B-2 Spirit Bombers, it's probably parody before anyone else. Just saying. That's the deal.
Them.
Again, that's from my perspective, it's more probable. You could say, well, from my perspective, it's Marley. That's valid. I see no reason. Well, I mean, I have my reasons, but I don't see any overwhelming reason as to why Marley wouldn't develop it for parody. I'm just saying you cannot rule out parody. You're saying, oh, it's the outside world. How do you know it's the outside world? How do you know? How could you possibly know something like that? You don't know. You don't know at all.
I literally said in my Eren analysis video how once.
And here's the other thing: you don't know who the belligerents are, and you don't know why they're going to war. You don't know who won. You don't know any of that. So you're making all these assumptions. And that's the other thing I like these pages. I've always said the last 6 pages are like the best. I hope it gets animated 1 for 1. NFC doesn't tell you. It doesn't tell you because you don't need to know. It's completely irrelevant. Okay? And as I always said, I've said this a bunch of times, and I say it again. If he showed us the belligerence and the reason why, one would say if X didn't happen, then the war wouldn't happen, and that's untrue. So he wants to keep us from that, so he explicitly makes it ambiguous. I mean, and again, yes, I'm assuming that. That is an assumption that I'm making. And if you have a better assumption, we can go ahead and say it. But that's why I personally appreciate these panels. That's why I think it's a great panel.
139 ruined Eren's character. I literally said in that
That's why, most ending defenders, they cringe like, oh, it's so bad. No, this is actually good. And you're missing the point if you cringe it. This is actually a great panel. That makes Attack on Titan more unrivaled than it already was. Because again, if you foolishly read the chapter when Betsy Show and Jump released it, then you were missing out on this
video that all the outside world needs to do get their military infrastructure back in place, and as soon as they
just get their military infrastructure back in place, and then launch an amphibious invasion. No big deal.
They're gonna invade parody, they're gonna kill parody, and look what we have here. We have like 60-70 years in the future, to the point where now they have stealth bombers carpet bombing parody. Armin did not save the day. Eren died for no reason. This panel basically is Isayama confirming that this entire chapter was trash. This is him saying, yeah, you know what, I ruined Attack on Titan, so yeah, we were right all along, everybody. We were right all along. And then we do another mini time skip where parody is like so destroyed now that like no, everyone's dead. But then we got I presume
again, this could be just the outer walls. And again, it's implying that, but how do you know everyone's dead? You don't know. What if everyone retreated? Again, this is how it looked when in season 1 until it got retook. So how do you know that it's this is the thing I don't like. You're just assuming all these things. Oh, everyone's dead. How do you know it's everyone's dead?
Mikasa's child?
Exactly. Yeah, thank you. Then Mikasa's child. I said that one time in debate. People like, oh, you're headcanon. It's quite clearly Mikasa's child. You can see it's an Asian, short hair, and no one else would be on the island. I've heard some people say, oh, well, it's a tourist. I've had people literally say this kid is a tourist. Literally. This kid just say, hey, mom and dad, I'm gonna go to across the sea for a little bit. Okay, I'll be back at dinner. He hops in this little boat, he goes over here, and he says, oh, cool tree, and then goes back home. Ridiculous. This kid is quite clear because it's descendant. Which again, on the flip side implies that there is people inside the walls. If you think people did not get killed.
Their grandchild, we see them walking through the rubble of parody. Everyone's dead. You could just, all the like plant life is taking over. And then yeah, everybody, officially the last page of Attack on Titan, the story that we've been reading since forever, the story that we cried over, the story we loved, the story we told our friends about, our family members about, the story that we've been engaged with since forever. It ends with this random kid and old yeller walking up to the tree where Eren's grave was. Presumably we're supposed to believe that he goes into that tree and gets the hallucinogenia, starting Titans again.
You're not supposed to believe that. You're supposed to just interpret it. I believe you're supposed to interpret however you want to interpret it. Now, if you have an interview clip where Isayama says you're supposed to interpret this as the Titan power is coming back, then we have to just interpret how we interpret it. Okay, it's up to the reader's interpretation. I think actually Isayama did say it somewhere, but I'm not sure if someone said it. So it's interpretation because we don't know. Isayama didn't say anything about it. So no, you can't just say, well, we're supposed to believe the Titans come back. You don't know it. You don't know that.
Seen like rumors saying that this is like hinting at a sequel, so presumably
again this starts again. He's been saying for months he's not going to do a sequel, and again he just said 2 or 3 days ago there will be no sequel. So there's that.
Gonna go into that, meet up with hallucinogenia. This kid is gonna be the new god of the new Emir making Titans, and presumably he's gonna
look at all this headcanon. People blame us for making headcanons. Look at this guy. So this guy's headcanon is he's gonna go into this tree. It claims he's gonna be the new emperor of the aliens. Where is this coming from? You just made that up entirely from start to finish. You just made that up. You made it up with very little evidence. And this is what I'm saying. You use this self-inflicted wound. If you would just appreciate the ending for what it is and be open-minded, you'd say, well, maybe I'm filling in some blanks here that are making it worse than it needs to be.
Go and destroy the outside world. Who knows if the sequel is gonna come out, if that's actually true, or if it's just rumors or not. But yeah, that's how Attack on Titan ends. This is how Eren Yeager's story ends, with the random kid walking him to his grave. I mean, just look at the panel where Parody gets carpet bombed. This is the greatest panel in Attack on Titan. Forget about the panel where Commander Erwin is standing on those bodies. Forget the panel where Eren is in his father's ear telling him to kill the Reese family.
Oh my gosh. That's what I'm saying. These people are shallow. Oh, Eren whispering to his false ear. That was the greatest panel. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Oh, some cool plot twist. That's my favorite scene. Just because you're shallow. Like, and again, I'm not saying just because you like plot twist because you're shallow. I'm saying the greatest panel has to be something much more than just, oh, this is hype, this is exciting, heart pumping. Come on, stop being so shallow. Please. This is the problem with Attack on Titan. Attack on Titan attacks shallow people because it has cool action scenes. So it attracts shallow people. So now you become shallow and then you don't value things of actual value. So then you end up being angry when a masterpiece is dropped into your lap like this.
Forget the panel where Eren frees a mirror in 122. And you know what? Remember that freedom panel? Well, the panel that people were saying is the greatest shonen panel ever? Yeah, no. Not anymore. Because this panel where Parody's getting carpet bombed is not only the greatest panel in shonen, it's just the greatest panel in manga ever. I'm gonna give him credit for it. I'm gonna give him some respect for it. At least he's admitting that, you know what? My ending was trash. I'm sorry. So I'm gonna just destroy the whole story. Literally destroy the whole story. He literally showed Parody getting carpet bombed.
The leaks have been confirmed to be real. The leaks that were released this past week of the extra 8 pages of Attack on Titan chapter 139 that will be included in the upcoming volume 34 by Isayama the man himself. And it's unbelievable. The leaks were unbelievable from the beginning. Nobody believed them. But now there's no way to deny them. They're actually factually real. So let's go ahead and take these leaks first, and I'll tell you how I feel about them. So first leak, Mikasa, man. Canon. This is Gene and Mikasa. Let's zoom in on that. Gene and Mikasa's baby. All real. Gene and Mikasa. Gene, the horse god. The stallion himself. Piped it down, man. He piped it down. He piped out Eren's girl. He piped out Eren's girl. And he's at the funeral. Not the funeral. The rest of the place like, oh, leave him a flower, baby. Now let's go home and make another baby. He piped her down. It's officially true. I can't believe it. Family reunion. This is Grandma Mikasa right there. Grandma Mikasa being walked over by probably Grandpa Gene, and a whole family generation to come and thank the genocider Eren Yeager. That's why they're going there. Her whole family. Imagine coming for generations to say thank you for killing all those people, my good friend. Generations. Are you for real? I can see if it was just her. I can see if it was just her and Armin. But she got generations. They don't even question it. It's like, yeah, who is this guy? What did he do, Grandma? Well, sit down, granddaughter. Let me tell you a story. So this is what happened. See, there were people over there who hated us, and he had the power of a Titan. What's a Titan, Grandma? Well, a Titan is a giant mystical creature. Okay, Grandma. What's a Titan got to do with this? Well, he could turn into one whenever he wanted to. And he was a special Titan because there were walls around here at one point that were keeping us all trapped. And he was able to use the Titans to go out and kill every human outside the world, but only up to 20% because he wasn't that evil. He was just kind of evil. Let's go to his grave. Okay, Grandma, that sounds like fun. Okay, next leak, just to prove that it's Granny Mikasa, right? Just to prove she has the fucking scarf on. She still has the scarf, dude. I feel like at this point the scarf would have like dematerialized. The fell apart. She had to make a new one. This bitch made a new scarf. I'm not falling for it. She went home. And she was like, the scarf's getting pretty old. I'm making a new one. I'm not gonna tell nobody though. I'm using the same fabric. I'm not gonna tell nobody. It's the same scarf. I'm gonna be like, Mikasa, this clearly is not the same. It's the same scarf, Armin. Shut up. Okay, you say so. Whatever you say. All right, whatever. The parody is destroyed. I don't know. It's just too blurry for me. I can't make out what this is. But it's confirmed that parody was destroyed. Parody is destroyed not in a vision, but it's actually destroyed. It's actually destroyed in the story. What? So Eren achieved absolutely nothing. Oh wait, no, he did achieve something. Titans are gone, right? Titans are gone, guys. He achieved that. Oh no, actually, never mind. Because there's a Titan. There's a boy who finds a fucking tree in the wreckage of Parody, and the tree grows from the tree where Eren's head was. It's the same tree. It's the same fucking tree that Amir fell into and got the Titan powers. And she let Fritz die because Mikasa convinced her to. So that means that this shit never happened. So Titans never happened, but still, somehow this tree comes back. Somehow. Wow. So Attack on Titan as a story is officially dead. It's officially murdered. It's officially killed.
That panel's so trippy for people. Like sometimes people interpret it as Ymir, as you saw earlier. Sometimes people say it's actually canon. Like, I can assure you that Fritz did not die in the timeline. That all that actually happened, that was definitely a vision or alternate reality that did not happen. Right? That was what could have been what happened.
No redeeming it. There's no defending. There's no defending for it. There's absolutely no logical defense that can be made for this. In order for this to happen, you have to sacrifice the entire story. Every single character before then, sacrifice so this can happen. Eren's entire plan, motivation, sacrifice so this can happen. Okay, Dansha could keep milking the Attack on Titan brand. So that's what it's been this whole time, guys. None of this made sense to us because we were always missing this final piece. This final piece to the puzzle, and now we have it. The Attack on Titan ending puzzle. There was pieces of why was it garbage? Was Isayama? We tried to put in a piece. Was Isayama being forced? Was the editor doing it? The pieces just didn't fit for me. It didn't fit into that last slot. And now I found the last piece. The last piece was greed. That fits perfectly in the slots. It just matches up perfectly. It was greed. That's all it was. All around greed. They didn't want to tell a timeless classic that will be remembered to the end of time, like Akira. They didn't want to do that. No, they wanted a series, a franchise that they could milk to the end of time. They could have your dumbass and my dumbass watching it until the day we die with no reason, no logic, no plot, no moral lesson, no investment, none of that. Just watch it and pay me and buy our merchandise. The Sagio. So people want to defend Isayama as if he didn't have a say in his story, as if the contract said they could change the story to whatever they want it to be, whenever they want it to be, whenever they want to, they can change it whenever. That's what you're telling me. The contract says they can just change the story at any time, whenever they please. No, dude, he agreed to this. He agreed to this. They probably pay him how much he can make in the whole series just to change it to this garbage. Agreed from Isayama, agreed from Kanesha. Agreed. He can't come out and say, oh, I didn't write this shit, or I didn't want it to be this way. This wasn't my original ending. He can't say that because then it's gonna take away from the brand name of Attack on Titan to the fucking sheeps who actually think that this was the intended ending of Attack on Titan. You have to keep the brand name. That's all this is about. Making sure that name stays relevant. Making sure that name continues on so they can continue to make profit off of it. And idiots will still read it because it says Attack on Titan on the title. This series is dead. You guys really think we're getting an anime ending now? Anime only ending now? You really think so? There's no fucking way they're gonna make that because they don't care. This is proof. They don't give a fuck. The only thing they want is money. So they're gonna make the same goddamn ending and say, yo guys, wait until the new one. You never know what's gonna happen. There's a whole new story now, new characters that can turn into Titans. It's just so sad, man. It's so sad. It's so sad to see a series like Attack on Titan get literally destroyed by greed, corporate greed. That's all it is. I thought maybe Attack on Titan would be different.
Greed.
I thought maybe Attack on Titan would be different, but I guess I was wrong. I guess corporate greed wins again.
I'm not even going to begin to defend that because I already told you. Isayama told you beforehand, hey, we're gonna have 8 extra pages. And again, season 2, where they waited 4 years, just sat around doing nothing for 4 years, and to make sure season 2 was good. So no, and again, as I already said, he's not gonna make a sequel. So no, it definitely was not corporate greed at all. That's the reason why Attack on Titan is so good, because it does not fall for that kind of stuff. So it's not corporate greed anything. Nice try though.
Now the last thing.
This is the sort of lunacy that you usually come to when you don't appreciate art like this.
I want to come at, the last people I want to come at is the defenders of the ending of Attack on Titan, the original 139, and anyone who defends it now. You understood that this was going to happen. You understood that the story was going to lead to a tree that Eren's head was planted near, to grow into another tree that another character in the future could fall into, so he would become a Titan and then redo the Titan curse all over again. That's what you thought the story was leading towards? That's really what you thought? That was really the ending that you saw coming? You fucking absolute jackass. You really thought that this was what Attack on Titan was about? Attack on Titan wasn't about telling a finite story with strong characters, motivations, plot developments, plot twists, reasoning, logic, a story about humanity, what it means to be free, what it means to sacrifice, what it means to push too far, what it means to do whatever it takes. That's not what Attack on Titan was about all along.
It was not. And again, I think that most people knew that past season 1. I think even in season 1, I think most people knew that most of what you just said is not what Attack on Titan was about.
Just about a cycle that never ends. It was just about having no reason to do anything at all.
That's one reason. And no, the second reason is garbage. No, Isayama's not saying that. There's a nuance there. War and pain is an inevitability of life. How do you deal with that? So no, it's not. Oh, war's what's going to happen, so let's never try to be free. This is stupid. It's stupid. It's not stupid because of any logic. It's intuitively stupid. You don't even need to have any logic. It's intuitively stupid. Some people say, "Well, why would I clean my room? We'll just get messy again." This is such a stupid. Everyone intuitively knows how stupid that is, right? So, and that's why I say it's about contentment. It's about contentment. That's why Armin's such an important character, and why you should have paid attention to the series. Why you should have appreciated instead of whining about how X and X Ghost got an X and X place in 137. You should have been focused about the actual point 137.
At all. Eren did everything in the story for nothing. There's not one thing he for nothing. Unbelievable.
Again, he probably got rid of the Titans. Again, maybe. We don't know for sure. I'll give you that. He definitely made Mikasa live a long, happy life. He brought Connie's mom back, and he extended Armin, Annie, and Reiner's lifespan. Accomplished a lot. Oh, and he accomplished his island not getting invaded. That is, if he didn't cause that problem himself. But that's a separate topic.
I would have been able to accept it if it was just Isayama just fucked up. People fuck up. I'll be mad. People fuck up.
And you could say, well, we got invaded after. So, Woodrow Wilson accomplished something. He made sure that, X and X thing didn't happen. And then, of course, those same countries got invaded later. Doesn't mean they accomplished anything.
But this right here, this ain't no fuck up. This is intentional. This is an intentional fuck you by everyone involved, including Isayama. Isayama is saying fuck you. Every one of the people out here who enjoyed his story, every one of the people who loved it, every one of the people who shared it, every one of the people who were excited and anticipated to see it in. This is his fuck you. I want my money. You already made millions. You sold out your life's work, Isayama. You sold out your life's work. How much did they pay you where it was worth it? Can't put a price on timeless. Can't put a price on that.
I agree. Okay, so that was that. I was told to react to it, so I did. There you go. Hope you're happy. I thought Serenity was an actual person. I guess he just chops up clips. Maybe he doesn't do that. But thanks for watching the video. Thanks for sticking along, and I'll see you in the next video.